Harambe YouTube, it is Uncle Bird here. Happy Friday, and today I want to do something for the newer collectors. When I started collecting comic books, it seemed very intimidating because you walk into the store and it's overwhelming. All of these single books and the price point. When I started, we were looking at $2.99 to $3.99 per book, and now it's up to $4.99 to $5.99 per book. And most books nowadays are continuing series, where if you only buy one book, you only get a small fraction of the story. And so if you really get the whole story, you have to invest a lot of money, and that can be intimidating. And when you first get into comics, you presume there are two ways to purchase them. Either the individual single issues, the floppies, or digital comics, which you read on your tablet or phone. Now, me personally, I love the monthlies. I love the single issues, and I will never purchase a digital comic because comic books are my escape from the digital world. But there are other options that make comic book collecting a lot more affordable. Like I said, I am a big fan of individual books. I set aside a certain budget for them, but what I've had to do with the cost increase is I prioritize any single issue that I buy has to be top tier. It has to be something I'm gonna read that week. Has to be something, it's not gonna be something that I might be interested, or even something that I think will be good, but not great. What I do for those is I go to my friend, the trade paperback. Now we see here we have a series that I have been honestly binging this week. I got the last 3 volumes of the trade paperback in the mail this week, and I burned through them. But this is Lazarus. It is by, I think his name is Mark Rucka. A great series, brilliant series, a dystopian look at fascism and authoritarianism. And I got introduced to it by a back issue of it, of the #1. I really enjoyed it. And so when they came back with the latest series, Lazarus Falling, I bought them as they released. I read them, I enjoyed them. But between issue 1 and volume 8, there were 7 different series. Now, if I were to, we're looking at the total run number on Lazarus as of right now. It's kind of complicated where they are in production, but they're supposed to be finishing up with 14 more issues, but that may or may not happen. But the whole run, barring the last 14 planned issues, is 47 books, which you times that by $4 a book. That's a lot of money. But when you go to the trade paperback, if you can find a used copy of the trade paperback, which includes 3 to 6 issues, depending on the size of that particular run and the book size, I've found them for as low as, let's see, this one was $9.99, brand new. I have bought trade paperbacks containing 3 to 6 issues for as low as $4, and for as much as maybe $20. But outside of that, you also have these right here, deluxe editions. Now these are going to be a little bit more pricey, but you get one thing you get with these is you get the deluxe experience of, almost like a single issue that kind of feels a little bit more prestigious here. This, for instance, the 4th volume of the deluxe edition of Revival. This is the last, I think, 10 to 12 issues of Revival from Image Comics. I got this for like around $20, but you see it has a hardcover And in the back, it has alternate covers, a bonus story, all kinds of goodies here. We get to see the alternate covers, special edition covers, works in progress, a lot of behind the scenes stuff in the creation of this. And it's a very heavy book. So you can go that route as well. But comic books are not just visual, and they're not just individual issues here. Like I said, I got started out with the single edition of Lazarus, and then, got a hold of number 1. And then I just bought these. As I read them, this is actually the whole series of Lazarus. We have, let's see, in trade paperback form, we have numbers 1 through 7 volumes. And then we have the bonus. Here we go. Lazarus X66, which was put out alongside Volume 5 as a kind of bonus deep dive into certain character stories. This book, by the way, I'm going to be doing a series of reviews on the whole series, so stay tuned to that. It is a tremendous read. But, we got everything here collected. I would say I spent maybe roughly $100 over months, just ordering book by book, maybe $100 at that for these. Let's see, yeah, not even $100 for 7 volumes of the book. And then you can even vary it up, like with Revival, I got the first, I can't remember how many volumes the series was, but I got the first volumes of it in trade paperback form with 5 to 6 issues per volume, and then I just ended up getting the rest of the series in this deluxe edition. So you can vary it up that way, or you can do like I did with the Lazarus series, get the volumes and then, collect certain runs as they come out as individual books if you want to do that. But the point of this video is that comic books collecting and comic book, I would say reading itself does not have to be so expensive. And I guess I specify reading because I see a lot of collectors, they have to have every alternate cover. They buy books for speculation in order to flip for profit, or to hold on to because they think it's going to be a key issue. They treat comic books more like either art or an investment. But me, I am a reader. And so I don't need to go out and buy the $15, $20, $100 special edition cover. I don't have to have that, one key issue that doubles in price within the month that it's released. Nowadays, I think because of the prohibitive cost, whereas before you would have to wait a while after the initial run, now, especially with Mad Cave Comics and Image Comics, Mad Cave, they will put out the trade paperback almost immediately after a run finishes. And more companies are doing that. I'm not sure if Big Two are doing that. I don't really keep up with Marvel and DC, but a lot of independent companies, their bread and butter and, the best value for the reader are going to be the trade paperbacks. And like I said, that new price point is going to be anywhere between $15 to $20. And you're looking at 5 to 6 issues. That's going to save you $10 to $15 per run when you buy the trade paperback. So don't be intimidated. Find the book that you like. And if you like it, if there's not a trade paperback out for it, it will be very soon. And it's a great way to get a lot of story at a lower price. And, get the stories you love, but save your wallet. So I'll see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments what trade paperbacks you guys like, what you collect. And are you a digital comics fan? What other forms of comics are you guys into? I will see you next time. If you would like to contribute to the channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee with the QR code on the screen. But as always, watching, liking, subscribing, maybe even sharing is the best way that you can support the channel. I thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. You know I'm going to.